my family away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
2, 1. Hey, YouTubers and friends. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We have a return visit from our good friend from down in Georgia, MDV and MDV of iPadforgold.com. If he wants to say his real name, he might, but we just call him MDV for short. Now, on that note, stick around. You know what's going to happen next, and we'll get right back to you. Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jess, Dano, the Treasure Vixens, and I. Hey, you guys, how you doing? Dano, glad you could make it. Jesse, you had me worried, buddy.
I was eating. I saw your.
Ruby, you need to make dinner sooner.
Whoa!
On Tuesday.
It's Tuesday night. First of all, no, I make dinner. Ruby works, so I cook.
Well,
but it's Tuesday night. So on Tuesday night, what's dog part? Yes. On Tuesday night, dog parts. No, we usually order
better than a dog fart.
Yeah, we order pizza or because I gotta stop everything I'm doing and do the show on Tuesday.
Right.
So yeah.
Stop what?
And anyways,
you tell him, Ruby.
Stop what?
No, the dog parts.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But on Tuesday night, tonight we ordered subs, steak and cheese subs, but it took over an hour.
Dang.
And yeah, right. Well, and everybody's going, well, we don't have enough people to work. Cry me a river, get some people.
They don't want to work.
I know.
They can't get no people.
Nobody wants to work anymore. And those that do come in have to why some of them, but have to bust their ass just to help, just trying to get it going.
And then those people that were like at jobs like that, entry-level jobs, who said, I want $15 an hour. Judy went and got the grandkids some food today. And all they had were 2 chaoses and no counter help. Which, anyone without a brain, when you're wanting people and they're making legislation pay these people that should be only making $8 an hour, if that, $15 an hour, they're going to be replaced, and soon, and next thing you know, I see ads on here where they have robots flipping burgers and stuff. Keep it up, people doing those jobs. You won't have a job. It'd be all robotic. And they'll have some Asian person in Thailand or someone answering the phone and taking orders.
It's already looking to that right now, no problem. They've been able to do that for the last since the auto manufacturers started doing robotics. 20 years ago or more. It's been
Yeah.
heading that. It's
Well,
gonna get that.
now
You know.
they're well, my stepson Brian, you know Brian. Um, he works in robotics, and I always give him a hard time about, well, how many jobs is this taking away? You know,
All of them.
eventually, hey, I don't see a robot yet that can take my job. Please, please,
There isn't. Well,
come on, someone make a carpenter robot.
wait a minute. All you got to do is change. That's actually simple, Ed. Be careful what you ask for, because all you got to do is change how you build a house.
Well,
and what the house looks like.
well,
Exactly.
true.
You could get a robot to build a dome home really easy.
Oh yeah, you get a robot. Oh look, you can 3D print yourself a house now.
They have
That's right.
3D printed houses.
That's all right.
Like 3D concrete,
careful what
printed
you ask for.
concrete. Oh, I don't care at my age. You know, I don't plan on doing this another 10, 20 years. Hell no.
But look, we always need humans, and for no other reason than to pass out turkeys. Ain't that right, Dano? I heard that's what you did today.
What's that? Passing out? I passed out a bunch of turkeys today. 296 of them at work. Had to pick them up and had to pass them out.
Well, like you said, get paid what you get paid to say, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving. You know.
Dano Claus strikes again.
Oh, come on.
You know what?
It
actually,
is not Christmas yet.
I don't care. Dano Claus handed out turkeys today. He'll be handing out his balls come December.
All right.
Now,
Yeah, I didn't think companies were doing
those
that
are
anymore.
globally renowned, if not universally renowned. I bet there's life on another planet somewhere going, have you heard that human Dano balls? I hear they're delicious. You know, we beamed up a guy the other day that had them. We beamed up Brian Wilder from the Wild Ranger, and he had a bag of Dano balls. We decided not to probe him because his Dano balls were so good. So.
Oh, speaking of devil.
Someday my balls will be commercialized.
Yeah, speaking of the devil, there's Brian Wilder right there.
Let's say hi to our chat room, man.
Yeah,
We
definitely. We have a pretty good house tonight.
Yeah, let me start off with Mrs. Biggs. How are you, Rose? Hope you're getting better. I know she can't be on the show tonight. And then the world's greatest moderator, Mr. Lodak. What's up, Sharon? And of course, Brian. How are you tonight?
I see pingers here.
Yeah, and we have
Nate guys.
this name doesn't look familiar, but welcome. Ragnar Rocks, welcome.
Hip B, welcome. Glad to see you back. I
Jeffrey
see Bob Litt
Jeffers.
was in here tonight.
Jeffrey Jeffers here, our friend from West Virginia. Long time no see, Jeffrey. Good to see you.
There's Deej. Hi, Deej.
Hey, David B.
And we
There's a high
have
relic hunter, Bill.
John Wolf.
Hey, Rachel.
And the I'm Not Swifty, Randy, Scotty, Tony in the house.
What's up, RST? Are you sure?
Are you sure? Amethyst, how are you?
Oh, Amethyst hit me.
Now we have the world famous Australian Terry Marshall in the house. Good to see you, Terry. And
There's
Terry
Jonathan
Curry.
Friend. What's up, Jonathan?
Jonathan Friend.
He's in this type of work, Michael. He might be interested in what we talk about tonight.
More pan.
Well, look, there's Top Cat showing up and throwing a little chat out.
Cat. What's up, Top Cat?
Making biscuits and gravy for dinner, he says.
Nice,
I'll
Top
be right
Cat.
over.
I don't know why that guy ain't a moderator though.
I don't know. Because he ain't been on the show.
He's
Oh,
been
wait,
on
yes,
the
he was.
show. He's been on the show in his backyard.
He was a
Yeah,
guest
we
host.
ate Vegemite that night.
That's right.
Again, for the second time. Jersey Ray Diggs, how are you, Rach?
There's Amethyst.
Usually Top Cat's listening and lurking like our friend Two Toes, which could
Hey,
very
yeah.
well be lurking out there and listening.
Patrick does that a lot too.
Yeah,
Patrick
Patrick.
Moore.
I've noticed that. He'll come in late towards the end.
Well, you know what we always say. We love our lurkers too. If they're shy and don't want to type and talk to everybody, yeah, so be it. You know, some people just let the show run in the background while they're doing things, cleaning their gold like the Yuba Master Top Cat.
Heavy Meadow Vegemite's really good.
Mayhem prospecting. I like to go prospecting with him.
Heavy Meadow says Vegemite and extra butter. I told it's good. Actually, Vegemite's pretty stinking good, I thought.
I thought it was delicious. I don't know what everybody. I think you know what? I think that's kind of like no gold in Utah, right?
Second time eating it, I like it a lot better than the first time. But first time I added on bread, and the second time I added on English muffin, both smothered with butter. I think I like the English muffin better.
I ended up smearing some more on mine. I think Todd did too. Ended up smearing more on. Didn't have enough.
Yep. I need more on mine.
Hey, Wally. Bill Marsh is talking to Deej. I was invited by Deej and Dawn to go metal detecting, but can't make it Friday. I have to work. Super chat. Thank you very much, Top Cap, for the super chat, brother Todd. Appreciate it. It's good to see Wes and Tom in here. I'm sure Tom's lurking.
Ohio Relic Hunter. Hey, what's up?
Sometimes confused with Ohio History Hunter or Ohio River History.
Or Mark Miller.
It's good, Mark. Trust me. Try it sometime. It's not that bad.
Oh no, really? You're right. It doesn't sound good, but it was surprisingly really had a nice flavor. I mean, it tasted good.
Yeah, not bad, Terry, especially with a lot of butter.
I think here in the States, it's Marmite. I think they call it that here in the United States.
Yeah,
Marmite.
leftover beer tastes good, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Leftover residue of beer.
That's what it is.
How can it be bad?
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like yeast rolls when you go to a restaurant or something. They have good yeast roll.
It kind of reminds me of like a bouillon cube.
Yes.
Like something that you would what do they call those sauces that you use, for adding flavor to stuff, I don't know. It was good. It just tasted good. It had a unique flavor, and I thought it was good. I mean, it wasn't a familiar flavor for sure. But
No.
Vitamin
it would be real good in like biscuits and gravy, like Todd's fixing. It'd be good in biscuits and gravy and like soups to flavor them. It'd be real good that way.
Like a base, I guess, huh?
Yeah, kind of like a base for something.
Howdy, Jeff Otworth. Stocks, soup stocks, and
Yep.
it ain't bad. Yeah. We'll bring it to Flash Bash, Music Man Mark Miller, and you could try it there. Sit around the Barbie with us and have some Vegemite.
Finger tastes like chicken. That's everybody's reply to strange food. Tastes like chicken.
It's like chicken. Oh.
One more pan said he'd only eat it if it stopped baldness.
Sorry, I'm bald. It didn't stop it, brother. One more pan. I'm there.
Well, you could tell why a little fib. Sure, it stops baldness. Have a try.
Have a try. Get you a bite.
Oh, you can watch a show. You can if you watch that show from California that we did, you can actually see that we definitely enjoyed eating it.
Yeah, and you could tell I enjoyed eating it better that time than I did the first time. I think that was our 4th year anniversary show that I ate that. Jeff Otworth, great to see you, buddy.
That was Hendrick.
And Jersey Ray Diggs is 4 away from the 300 subscriber mark.
Oh, no way. So
But did you rub the Vegemite into your scalp, Dano?
No.
Why, is that supposed to help?
I don't know. I don't think I'd want to rub it on my head. You might walk around with a scent on you after there for a while.
Mr. Lodak Jaron Wheeler says, hello, MDV. Not sure if you can see this. So
I don't know. I'm gonna put my glasses on.
I believe he has YouTube up, Mr. Lodak.
Yeah, I'm looking at YouTube on my phone here.
Then Jeff Otworth, that he is, Jeff. MDV is a class guy. When I first started in prospecting, he actually called me, answered some questions I had about the what? That's a 5-letter word right there, Jeff. Hobby.
Mr. Riccoli, what's up, Bob?
It's a lifestyle.
Terry Marshall says there's always a jar in the camp box with him.
Cool.
Where'd I put
Bob
the
McCoy showed up. What's up, Bob McCoy?
Our Southwest Oregon man.
Practical Tenn's in the house. No question that.
What's in your pan, MDV?
Oh, John Shaw over there.
And what's up?
Definitely.
Right,
Doing good here. Excellent. Excellent. If for those in Northwest Washington, I've heard you've had a lot of bad flooding around Vancouver, BC, and Skagit Valley, Otis Ferris in mine, Home Valley. I hear there's some pretty bad flooding in the Skagit. We'll keep all of you in our prayers.
No, pray you stay safe and pray and move some big gold down there for you.
Yeah, move that gold in. Move that gold in. One more pan says, yes, sir, pretty wild out here. It is that time of year on the wet side up there. We have Ray Hollywood Rusa in the house.
What's up, Ray?
What's that show? Ice Cold Gold, is it? Is it the same?
Frozen Gold. Frozen Gold.
Frozen Gold. Sorry, Ray. That our friend Chad Watkins was in Ice Cold Gold.
I've watched both episodes so far. I recorded them and watched them at a later time.
Well, know what's a really hoot? If you get into the Zoom meeting with Ray and Mr. Lodak and Tim Grimes and them, you get a very interesting output on the show.
Yeah.
To say the least.
It's a different perspective.
Yes, yes, yes.
Of course, we've known about that side of it, of those shows.
Oh,
We've known about.
well before, way before Ray was in one. But I have to say, Ray's the star, you know. Um, and I'm kind of disappointed in one of our past guests, you know. She was a lot different on our show than she was on the last episode, let me tell you, of Frozen Gold. But I think ISIS is climbing my service tower outside. Worst connection I had in forever. Well, aren't you still overseas? You're in Iraq right now, aren't you?
I'd like to
Kuwait,
see Ray's
Iraq.
bad Santa side come out on the show. Surely bad Santa will step out sooner or later out of him.
Donji.
I'm sure it
No,
did.
I'm really proud of Ray though. You know,
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
he had that Class A video he made for that contest
Right.
with Doc and was on that TV show in Alaska and did really good. And then this, proud of you, Ray. Proud
He's
of
quite
you.
quite the star nowadays. I call him Hollywood for sure.
Oh yeah, I've been kind of, you know, I got Discovery Plus, so I've been watching a bunch of. I skipped a bunch of Bering Sea Gold and went to the season Brian started on, and
Well, I think Ray's overtaking Polly, man. As far as TV shows, Polly might have done more, but I think Ray's kind of a star of a few more.
actually, Paulie's movie and TV portfolio is pretty big. But still, yeah, Ray's quite the character in a good way, Ray. Don't take nothing we say bad. We love you, brother, and we're all proud of you. Your Flash fam and GPS family's really proud of you, buddy. Huh, guys?
Right.
I bet you Doc's really proud of you too, the way you flew that flag in your shanty. So, and I know Tim's proud of you for wearing that Gold Prospectors Space shirt.
Now, if you just had a flash in a pan towel, the flash in your pan towel, you could have whipped out.
Yeah, no doubt. We need to get Ray Russa one for next season. He could
How does
be.
he not have one already?
That's a good question. You know, Ray's been a
I
good
know.
friend to the channel for a while. But we have our guests,
Well,
Michael.
speaking of good friends,
Yeah,
got
speaking
a
of good
TV with us
friends, we have our good friend with us. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to pin Michael. But we have our good friend MDV from iPanforgold.com. How are you
Howdy.
doing, Michael?
I'm doing great. I'm a little intimidated by all these TV stars I got on here.
Yeah, Ray Russa and Brian Wilder.
no kidding. Crazy, huh?
I'd love to sit down with Brian for a while and just talk about what it's like to work with Vern. Vern's not on here, is he?
Probably
tonight.
lurking. Yeah, he may be lurking. I don't know. Vern, you lurking back there somewhere?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Ryan's been killing it on that show too. So
Yeah.
Well, I agree with y'all. I'm really proud of Ray. I think he's done a great job. And I put myself in that position and imagine how hard it would be to take a bunch of people who you really don't know. It's like herding ducks, you know, Trying to get them all to go the same direction is what a challenge.
Right.
It'll
Well,
be,
yeah, like I noticed the first week that they did go in all directions.
Right.
But and then again, like
yeah,
there was reasons for that too.
yeah. Anyway, it's great to see all you guys.
You too. It's been a while. What's it been, about 3-4 years since we actually saw you down.
Well, I don't know if it's been that. Yeah,
2,
we
3
met at
years.
Dahlonega. That was a big time.
That was almost 3 years ago we met in Dahlonega.
Yeah, we had a great time together. That was fun.
It was fun. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And you've shown a lot of support to this channel, which is awesome.
Well, I got to know Ed a little bit so I don't know how long it's been. I first met him through GPS, and Tim
Right.
Hader, put his little thing together, and Ed, in the context of that, we got to know each other. We had a lot of fun times. Same thing with Ray. I met Ray through, I think, through GPS as well.
Yeah, I had the privilege of meeting you at the Swank property during Gold Rush days.
Yeah, that was the first day that what's his name? Dennis, what's his name, showed up.
Dayton? Dennis Dayton?
Yeah, I was there when he walked up to the GPS tent and introduced himself.
That Dennis Dayton dude.
Glad Dennis Dayton.
Take care, Ray. Love you too, brother.
Later, Ray.
Thanks for dropping in.
But anyway, I appreciate being invited, Ed, to come and chat with y'all. And I'm just, as I was saying earlier, I find the gold prospecting community to be some of the best people I've ever met. They're also helpful and
Right.
gracious. Now, there are exceptions, of course, and I've run into some of those too. But for the most part, got some really great folks. Really, really appreciate you guys. And
Right. We were talking about that earlier. We were talking about how it is a really helpful community. It not only with helping you learn how to find gold and all the different processes, but just helping in a spiritual way also. And a human way.
yeah.
This community really sticks together. Like we were talking earlier, how the way that you do your pay dirt is probably different from the way a lot of people do it. I know there's people that do pay dirt that have their own claims and stuff, but you started by building your own plant, right?
Well, I got into.
How did you start?
Yeah, I discovered the TV show Gold Fever with Tom Massey, from GPA.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I watched that show for a whole year, and I was here in Georgia, and they finally did a show where they highlighted Dahlonega, Georgia. And my ears really perked up. Wait a minute, Dahlonega, that's 3 hours away. I can go there. And by golly, the next weekend I was there. The Croissant Gold Mine, they taught me how to pan, basically. And I started going there pretty regularly. And I worked my way through all the material and stuff. And so then I found out about the GPAA. I joined the GPAA. There's a local chapter here in Augusta, Georgia. Not a lot of guys there, but some faithful guys, and had a lot of fun. And in the context of that, met a guy who actually owned a gold mine here in Georgia, which I didn't even know there were any gold mines here in Georgia. But as it turns out, we were able to work out a deal to go out on his property and work on his claim for a while, and learned a lot. My buddy and I went from a little tiny gold hog mini excavator, which is essentially like a multi-sluice now, about that size, all the way up to an 8-foot long, 30-inch trommel that we built ourselves, a reverse helix trommel. We had a blast. had a blast. Didn't get much gold, but we spent a lot of money, but we had a lot of fun.
That sounds about right.
But in the context of that being out there and stuff, I was, I'm not going to make enough gold. I'm not going to get enough gold to do that. I wonder if there's some way to cover some of my expenses and stuff. And so I started looking into pay dirt, and Don Finley was on the GPS show one night, and he talked about, he used to be the owner of Gold Strike Adventure.
Yeah.
Or you could go charter his company. Essentially, they would go to a river or a site and set up, and you just show up and pan, and they do the cleanup, and you walk away with your gold, and they do pick up everything and go home again for a fee. But he also sold pay dirt. He talked about it. He's pretty much my inspiration to start selling pay dirt. I have come to really enjoy it. And the thing that I really enjoy the most is not so much the sales, the business, and all that stuff. It's the relationships. I just love, I've got relationships with now. They haven't bought any gold for years, and it doesn't matter. What's really important is the relationship. I just really appreciate that. So I've been doing it since 2014, and it's not easy. Learning the how to do e-commerce business is really a challenge. I'm 74 years old, and I'm already noticing I can't remember things as well as I used to. I can't think as well as I used to, and but it's a challenge. But I love it. I just enjoy it, and it's the relationship and the satisfaction. And one of the things, as you mentioned, Jesse, I do gold pay dirt a little bit different than a lot of other people. I worked in distribution, fulfillment operations for 30 or 40 years. And so I got pretty good at knowing how to package stuff, how to ship things, how to present them to a customer so it looks good. And when I first came into the pay dirt industry, pay dirt market, I found that there were an awful lot of people who hated pay dirt sellers because they were unethical. And you hear stories all the time about people going in the backyard and putting some dirt in a bag, and sending it off to somebody for 10, 15, 20 bucks, and there's no gold in it.
Rightfully so, because there was a lot of people out there doing that. Yeah. I mean, it's how long has that industry been going as far as a pay dirt industry? I know they've probably been selling pay dirt forever, but as a big industry as it is now, it's like everybody's selling pay dirt, right?
Yeah. Well, when I saw these somewhat unethical practices, I said, aha, that's an opportunity for me to be the opposite, to differentiate myself in a sense. There's one of the biggest companies out there shipping pay dirt. Sometimes they take a month to ship a shipment, and there's all kinds of stories that you read where the people try to get a hold of them, they can't get a hold of them. So I ship everything within 8 business hours of receiving the order. I call people, and I saw somebody there said, he called me. I can't get over the fact that so many people are shocked that I would call them and say, hey, I'm Michael from iPan for Gold. Thank you for your order. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your experience. How'd you get into pay dirt? Oh, your first time. Great. Well, let me give you some do's and don'ts now. Don't rush out and buy a bunch of equipment. Take it slow. Look into it. Learn a little bit. Join a GPAA. Get in a chapter. Find a lot of friendly folks who will help you. They'd love to take you along with them and stuff. And I don't know. Seems like the logical thing to do, but apparently it's a really rare practice. But
right, that's always my go-to suggestion for anybody that's new that wants to get into it. I tell them, look, find yourself a local gold club, join it for a year. Cost you $100, whatever. Join it for a year. Those guys, I'll be glad to teach you how to pay for gold, how to look for it. That's the way to do it. And then at that point, after you've been doing it for a little while, you decide whether it's something you want to invest money in. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. My very first customer, guy named Bob, Bob Foley, again, he was my first customer. So I remember him, and he's kind of special in my mind. And he was talking about retiring. And when he retired, he wanted to go full-time gold mining. I said, great. I said, well, why don't you come on down? He lived up in Michigan. I said, why don't you come on down, and I'll put you through my trommel operations course.
Yeah, put him on there for a week.
He actually did that. He came down, and we let him, do all the mucking and the shoveling and getting all dirty and stuff. And at the end of the day, of course, we gave him some gold to take home. It was a lot of fun. Really a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's always, it's fun. And people get into this for different reasons. You got people that get into it just because they want to go out on the weekends and get out and play in the dirt and in the water and hang out with the family and maybe get a little gold. You got people that go out there and go at it gung ho trying to get as much as they can do, as much as their body will let them do in a day. Just tear it up, right, to get their gold. Then you got those that go, I can't do that. I can't tear it up. I'm all tore up. I don't have the time to go every weekend or once a weekend. So to me, that's where you guys come in.
Or I can't. I'm disabled. I can't get to places down in the creek.
Whatever.
Well,
Absolutely.
maybe they're just old like me. I just
or old like us. Yes.
I spent
right behind you there, dude.
I spent a lot of time at the VA hospital getting checked out for my heart and for my arthritis and my gastrointestinal issues and everything else. I just can't do it. I mean, I would love to be able to get out there and dig. I've done it. I've done the mining side of things. I've done the prospecting side of things. I really love that. I enjoyed it. But now that I can't do that anymore, I'm not going to give up on gold panning. I love it too much. It's so much fun. And
such therapy.
Every single time I pan a pan, when I see that gold reveal itself at the bottom of the pan, it comes up through that black sand. It's an exciting thing.
Absolutely.
It's not as exciting as finding my own gold, but I love it, and I just really enjoy it.
David Villa made a nice comment about you, and the one who talked about you, Colin, was our friend Jeffrey Otworth. But David Villa says, few have your honesty and integrity. And I definitely agree with you, David.
Well, I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, well, and here, I don't mean to brag or nothing, but anytime somebody asks, what's the best pay, who can I get pay dirt from? Who can I, who's got the best pay dirt?
I would say it's like
inevitably I go to I pay it for gold first before anybody else, and not because I've known you personally, but I've had other people's pay dirt bags. I've won a bag from here, or was given a bag from there, whatever. And I just find yours more fun. I don't know, just your packaging, I guess, too. But it just, you say that's in there, that if you're paying for a gram, you're going to get at least a gram.
You'll get over a gram.
Well, yeah, at least a gram.
Again, there are companies that have guarantees on how much gold they got in them. But like if it's 1 gram, some of them give you 1.011 or something.
Right.
I go anywhere from 5 to 10% over. I don't quote me on that, but I think it's important. That I don't ever want anybody to ever get less than whatever my guarantee is. I mean, that just
absolutely.
And if it happens, I will make it right. I'll do whatever I have to do. I had a young guy here in Georgia. He called me up. He said, Michael, is it unusual to get one of your shipments and not find any gold in it at all? I said, well, yeah, it's very unusual, but I'm human. I put the gold in there, so it's very possible. Who knows? I'll tell you what, I'll ship you another shipment right away, which I did. By the way, send me that bag back. I'm just really curious. I'd like to take a look at it. Well, I got it back. And within 30 seconds of panning it, it was obvious the poor guy didn't know how to pan for gold. With all kinds of gold in there, and that's okay. He became a customer, but it's
Well, at least it was an honest, at least it was an honest thing, and you were probably able to help with that afterwards, right?
yeah. I had another guy in out west. I won't say where. He might get offended if he knew I was talking about him, but out west, he would send me an email and said, Michael, how much gold was supposed to be in there? And I told him what it was supposed to be in. Wow, like a gram less. So, wow, really? Now, did you check your scale? Is it calibrated? Did you wet pan the whole thing? And through the process, found out that he was doing some picking through, screening it out, and then picking out the big pieces, and then setting that aside, and then panning the rest of it. Well, as you all know, you got to pan with water all of your gold. You can't. Now, I know there are guys that just can only do dry washing and stuff, but you got to pan the gold because the gold will stick to those bigger pieces and you can't see them.
Well, even if they dry wash, you still, even when you're done dry washing, when you go to separate your gold, you still use a pan, you still use water.
Well, this guy had happened 3 or 4 times when he kept saying, I was getting ready to fire him as a customer. I felt so bad, and I can't keep representing it that I'm doing all this giving
right.
Exactly what you ordered, and you're not getting it. Something's not right,
Well, he was missing some of the bigger pieces.
He finally corrected his processes, and he admitted, you know what, Michael, you're actually making me a better panner. And I was so relieved to hear that. That it wasn't me, because I was super conscientious.
Or he could pick out the bigger chunks and forget to weigh those when you weigh his fines. Maybe
well,
too.
no, it sounded like he wasn't even running that material at all. Just picking the gold pieces out dry.
Yeah, that which kind of touches on another one of my pet peeves, and that is I don't think you should classify purchased pay dirt before you pan it at all. It's appropriate when you're mining, when you're prospecting and stuff, but when you're working pay dirt, why are you buying pay dirt? If you're buying pay dirt just to get the gold, then buy pure gold, buy bars or whatever. The what I sell is not so much the gold as it is the thrill of the experience of discovery. That eureka moment when that gold shines forth at the bottom of the pan. That's what it's all about to me. And it's anticlimactic to put it through a screen and have this nice nugget sitting on the screen. No, I want to find that in the pan, man.
Yeah, I see that poke out of the material as they're washing it back.
Yeah. I want to have to pick it out of the way because it's pick it out of the pan.
Nothing beats when you have that first flash in your pan.
Right. Grubby Tact, how are you tonight? Hey, David Vio's got a question. He wants to know what is the importance of ROI? How much?
Absolutely no importance to return on
All
investment.
right.
Well, no, I want a little bit of my money back.
But that ain't the point of pay dirt.
I know. I can go. Yeah, but I can go in my backyard and get that amount.
Well, you guys know how to push my buttons. ROI button. And I'm not saying this arrogantly or pridefully or anything else, but I have an MBA level education when it comes to economics and accounting. Okay. I know what ROI is. In the financial world, you go to any CPA, any accountant, and you ask him what ROI is, he'll tell you. An example in our gold pay dirt or gold area is if you buy pay dirt and you spend $100 for it and you get back $80 worth of gold, you know what your ROI is? Minus 20%.
Right.
Because you invested $100, but now it's only worth 80. It lost value.
Right.
Okay? So I know I'm weird. It's just my little hang up.
Actually, it does make sense.
I understand why it gets used all the time in gold prospecting community. I get it. I just wish it was called rate of recovery or something else, because if
Also the ROI.
percent of what you spent, then that's good. That's really good. You know, but
Oh.
anyway, I've explained that so many times, and people don't care, but it's all right. It's no big deal. I do, as I said earlier, my focus on selling pay dirt is not the ROI. In fact, I've in some of my blog articles and stuff. If all you care about is the ROI, then buy your pay dirt somewhere else. It's okay. I understand fully that you want the biggest bang for the buck. I get that. Absolutely. No question about it. But I sell the experience. Again,
I think as a consumer though, especially as a consumer of gold, right? Because it is a commodity, right? You are consuming it.
well, if you want to buy a commodity, buy it on the commodity market. You know, follow.
But what I'm saying is, as someone who's buying gold for gold's sake, I guess it'd be better off. You're not going to, even if you buy just raw gold, you're going to pay more than its value anyways, right? I mean, if I buy a gram of raw gold for it, like from you, right, or from anybody, there's going to be a markup on it over its going rate.
Sure.
For sure. So
In fact,
I think that's how they're looking at the ROI in pay dirt. I think that's where that's the angle.
Yeah, I understand. I understand fully why they use it. It's just from a financial perspective, it's the wrong term.
It's the wrong term.
Look up ROI formula on the internet. You'll see.
Right.
You know, yeah. If you buy 24 karat gold, 9999 fine bars of gold,
Right.
you will pay for, if you're willing to buy like a kilo or more, you'll only pay about 2% over spot. But if you want to buy a gram, you're going to be way more than that. Okay. Because the smaller pieces of gold, the 1 gram, you know, like the combi bars, if you're familiar with the combi bars, you know, you can break them off. They come in a sheet, you know, they're kind of cool. You can break them off 1 gram at a time. You know, we talk about hard currency, and if currency, our US dollar fails and you got to do a barter system or something, that's a real practical way to use gold as a barter, an instrument of barter. But placer gold doesn't fall in that category. Placer gold does not occur in nature at 24 karat. Doesn't happen.
Right.
And the only reason we use 24 karat gold, the spot price, is because it gets published every hour, every moment of every day, just about. And it's a real convenient benchmark or ruler, so to speak, to measure against.
I go 20.
If you sell your gold to a refiner, the very first thing a refiner is going to do, he's going to assay the gold to see what the purity is. And if it's 10%, then he's going to take 10% off spot instantly. And then he's going to take another roughly 2% off for what they call melt loss. Okay, so now you're at 88%. Okay?
Right.
So these guys that are getting, quote, 100% ROI, they're not, because, I mean, and again, because it doesn't matter. The only time purity matters to somebody who just buys pay dirt is if their intention for buying it is to sell it to a refiner or to melt it down or refine it themselves and then sell that off as a 999 fine gold, which is kind of a sketchy thing to try to do. But
that doesn't sound like that's making you any profit either.
No. Now, the guys that I've seen that have made some money from placer gold, they sold it to me. And so one of the funny things, it's funny, peculiar about the pay dirt business. I've got some great customers. I mean, they're more like fans. And some of these guys they'll sell me back their gold. At the same time, I'm shipping them a pay dirt shipment. So it's constant, but they get it. It's about the discovery, the whole of discovering the gold, the panning process, the eureka moment. They get it. And
it's not about the value of the gold. It's about the panning, the experience.
Well,
the value of the
we have a
process.
couple of comments that touch on that. Like one more
All right.
pan says the 20% is the fun factor, so 100% ROI. And Practical Ken says, what does a typical person spend on entertainment? If you get a return while being entertained, then you are winning, right? Correct. 100%.
Well, here, let me address that last issue. You go play a round of golf, how much does it cost?
Way too much.
Yeah, a lot. Okay, and after you get back, let's say you had a really great shot. Let's say you had a hole in one. You can go around and brag to your friends and stuff, but after a while, it kind of wears off, and you got to go do it again and again and again.
Right.
You have nothing except sore muscles and a messed up back and things. Whereas with gold panning, you got a tangible result of your efforts. I mean, you can pull it out and show somebody. It doesn't change. It doesn't lose. I mean, the value goes up and down, but generally speaking, it doesn't lose value. How many hobbies, and I'm sorry to say hobbies, Ed, but how many hobbies are there out there where you actually come away with something of value?
Not many. Most of them just take money out of your pocket.
That's right.
So does this one, but at least you got a little bit of ROI.
Well, if you hold it for 20 years and
Sure.
for more than you bought it for, then you've got a positive ROI. That's true.
Yep. One of these days, I'll sell all my trading cards, my sports cards.
Yeah. There
Good
you go.
luck.
Yeah.
What's interesting, if you go on Kitco and you look at their charts for the price of gold for the last 10 years, in 2011, it got to a peak. And then for the next several years, if you had bought at that peak, you'd have been losing money had you sold it for the next several years. It wasn't until the last couple of years where it's gone back up again. So
Right.
it's a funny thing. Nobody's smart enough to figure it out. Whether it's going to go up or down or whatever. But
Well, when I got into it was up at 18. I think it had just hit the highest it's hit in forever, almost 19, I think. I don't remember. Jared's probably got that top of his head, but it was up there, and then it's come down and gone up and come down and gone up. Hey, it's still around the same. For me, silver's done really well for me. Silver's gone up and stayed up.
well, it's kind of like buying stocks. I mean, it's just something. Buy low and sell high is the ideal. But
Right.
most of us are not smart enough to figure out. At least I'm
You
not.
got to know when low is low, right?
Yeah. Back in the 70s, I used to listen to a radio program, and the guy at the end of every show, he would say, and gold was at that time about $200 an ounce. And he said, listen, gold is going to go to $400 an ounce. And I'm thinking, yeah, right. So as time goes by, each week it's 200, 225, 250, 300, 350. Oh my gosh, it's going to go to 400. So I finally jumped in and I bought, I think, 3 Krugerrands. And as soon as they hit 400, I sold them. And the next week, gold went to 800. Of course, the week after that, then it went back down again. So I don't know.
And if you had it right today, and if you still had it now,
Yeah.
Yeah, but what happens with all those people hoarding gold and investing in it when China, US, and Russia can start making it in a lab more efficient than they can. Right now, it costs them millions to make a gram. What about when they can make it for pennies on the dollar?
Oh, that reminds me of another topic, and that is the AISC, all-in sustaining cost. If you surf the internet and you look for the financial reports, the year-end financial reports that the big gold mines have to file with the government, every one of them will contain one of the metrics is AISC, the all-in sustaining cost, which is how much it costs them, all the costs involved in getting an ounce of gold out of the ground and ready for sale. Okay, that runs as a percentage between 50 and 60% of the spot price. Now think about the implications of that. If they wanted to, the big gold companies could put every pay dirt seller out of business by selling it at like 70% of spot, and just flooding the market. They could take it all, but why would they do that when they can get spot for it? Right?
Right.
The AISC and these guys, some people look at the spot price of gold as if it's some God ordained standard that gold has to be sold at spot. Well, no, that's just the prevailing price, just like the other commodities they sell in New York or all over the world, pork bellies or whatever. It's just
What they're willing to pay for it at this particular
yeah. Something is worth what you're willing to pay for it.
Right.
Some people are willing to pay a whole lot more for something that you wouldn't spend any money on at all.
Very true.
It's not wrong. It's just is what it is.
Although I think gold holds a different value than that.
Well, yeah, than like any other collectibles,
Yeah, because it has actual worth as far as a precious metal, I guess, but it has value no matter what.
Yeah, the thing is, you can't. You gotta have somebody willing to buy it, though, is the issue.
Yeah, well, there's people willing to buy it at this point.
Yeah,
Plenty of people.
you can't eat it.
And then Jared touched on it.
Can't eat it.
That's true, but you can trade it for food.
With some people.
Sure.
It sounds like you guys might be able to get some gold for your Vitamite or whatever that stuff was.
Vegemite?
Vegemite, yeah.
Who will give me a gram of Vegemite that's been eaten twice on the air?
Well, regardless, if you're in the business of selling things, if you can't provide excellent customer service, you can forget about selling stuff.
Right.
Very
Because
true.
They need that personal experience, regardless.
Right.
So he knows what he's doing.
That's what he keeps telling us.
Yeah.
So a while. So you've been selling pay dirt for a little while now, and then I noticed a while back you kind of got out of it for a couple of weeks, anyways. I don't, without getting personal or anything, was it just getting that nobody was buying, or was it? Did you have one of those moments when you go, man, people just don't appreciate it, or people aren't buying, or
you're gonna make me cry, Jess. You're gonna make me cry, man. Hold on a second. Let me check and make sure my wife's not in the room.
Okay.
I spent a lot of money in trying to develop the business and countless hours, and it's like having a regular job practically. I mean, I love it, but it's consuming.
Right.
And what I found was, because I don't own a mine, so I have to buy my gold from somebody else, a middleman at best. Okay, and I am blessed to have had some gracious, generous guys, you know, and large companies that were willing to sell me gold.
Right.
And just an aside, I called Fred Dodge one time and I asked him, you know, I need some advice. You know, I'm trying to buy gold and I was hoping he would sell me some, you know, but he told me, well, you know, anything less than 100,000 or 100 ounces, I'm not really interested. Which, I love Freddie. He's one of my heroes, you know, but it kind
I
of,
just want to jump in with both feet.
that. And he said, if you're going to buy gold, you're going to have to pay spot for it. Well, I've been buying gold for a lot less than that for quite some time. Nevertheless, by the time I add all my costs into it, you know, it takes at least 20% on top of the price of gold. I'm already at spot, and now I've got to try to build in some profit into it. And I've
Right.
just terribly unsuccessful since 2014. I don't think I've made a profit yet, honestly. And so I just got to the point where all I'm doing is I'm buying a bunch of gold. Now I got to sell it all so I can buy some more gold. So I can sell it all so I can buy some more gold. And it was just churning, you know, just turning it over. And it just got to be a burden, you know, and I kind of lost my joy in the whole thing. But again, I got so much encouragement from my customers, my friends. I regained my desire, my zeal, my desire to do it again. And at the same time, I found another source where I could buy it probably 10 or 15% less than what I had been paying.
Okay.
Those two things put together made a huge difference. Okay.
Right.
I'm still one of the higher priced guys out there, no doubt about it.
Mhm.
Trying to be faithful, you know, I'll get all excited. I get a big sale, quote unquote. And I'll go out and say, Susie, my wife, Susie, I had a really good sale. And so, oh, well, how much profit is that? You know,
Damn.
you know, pull the arrow out of my profit. What are you doing? So, you know,
We're not to the profit yet. We're not to the profit yet.
no. Any day now.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what was behind that time and I shut down for 4 weeks, you know, and it was very costly to me. As I told you earlier, I probably lost about 30% of my subscribers, which hurt. So I'm working hard trying to gain some new subscribers, but I got subscribers that have been with me for years and years now buying pay dirt.
You sell by subscription, right? You buy a subscription and you get what?
Yeah, it's very flexible, but what happens most of the time, someone will purchase a subscription, and I go back and forth on whether I'm offering a discount or not, depending on if I can afford it or not. But basically, they'll purchase one of my items, and then I'll ship it every month. And they don't have to do anything. Once they place the order, it's just an automatic thing. I've got the software figured out to where it pops up, tells me, it sends an email to the customer and lets them know 3 or 4 days ahead of time. Hey, you've got a charge coming up. If you want to change anything or cancel it or whatever, now's the time to do that. And if you don't say anything, then it goes through. And one of the things I'm kind of proud of is what I call again, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like I'm making a commercial here, but
All right. It's your
I know. One of the things I'm proud of is what I call our low price guarantee, and I don't see anybody else doing this, and I really don't know how other companies do it. But what I do is, if a person buys, let's just say, the shipment they purchase is $100 a month. Okay, as I already said, the price goes up and down all the time.
right.
What I have to pay goes up and down all the time. So I can't very well, if the going price out in the marketplace is now $80 for that same item, I can't keep charging $100 and nobody's going to buy it. Okay.
Right.
Especially my subscribers, I feel I owe to them to reduce their price down to what someone who was buying a new subscription would be paying. Okay, so I guarantee that I lower my price based on my published prices. They go up and down all the time. Likewise, if the price goes way up, it doubles or something. And that might be an exaggeration, but if it goes way up, I will bring their price back up to what their original purchase price was, but I'll never go over that, even if the price goes way up. Okay, and so I feel good about that. I feel that's giving value, and I don't see that kind of deal out there anywhere else, competition wise. So,
And that's a chance you're willing to take, right?
what's that?
That's a chance you're willing to take. If that price were to do that, you're still going to guarantee that price.
Yep.
That's a hell of a guarantee there.
Yeah, I feel good about it. So,
Well, that's good. That's important.
more questions out there? I'm really interested. You had a guy on Marshall or something from Australia. I'm really curious to know how the Australian gold market works. Maybe you guys can have him on sometime. Australian trader. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, right now, the only thing I'm seeing is they want gold porn. We want gold porn. They want us. To see a Ziploc bag full of gold.
Want to see gold porn. Sorry, Ray, I was muted. Ha ha.
So you know what the gold porn is all about, right?
No.
No.
It's kind
Well,
of like treasure porn.
it's just they want to see gold, they want to see treasure. Here, let me show you. This is gold porn. We're gold porn. We like to see gold.
Yeah, I do too. I love it.
And that's what we mean by gold porn or treasure porn.
Here, Michael. Here's my my gold porn from California when I went metal detecting.
Nice. Oh, metal detecting. That's cool.
Yeah. There's my gold porn.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Where's yours? I showed you my porn.
You want to see it? I'll be right back.
All right, you guys got what you asked for. I figured he had some in his office. Jesse has his pants on.
Yeah, he's got his
Looks like
pants
a
on.
rucksack.
Uh-oh. He's got a bag.
We're gonna have to pin him for this.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
Why aren't you getting those?
I'm not in the right spot.
Well, you
That
better
focus
go.
or
It's focusing on your face. If you like put your hand in front of it and
Like this.
oh, like that?
Yeah, there you go. So now there you go. Now it's focusing on my
You better go
nugget.
get some of them.
Okay. On my way.
All right, bye. Let me pack your clothes.
Don't come back till you got some, Jesse.
That's right.
This is the one I really like though. It's not the biggest one, but look how chunky that is.
It is.
Can you see?
That's a nice morsel.
That is
right
that
there.
is Georgia gold, really from wherever the source was for that stuff, man. It is just beautiful. It's like
Nice.
97%.
Chunky gold. Nice shiny there, saying.
This one,
Oh,
cool. This one
Toby Moore, he says.
Canada. A guy
What part of Canada?
in the Caribou somewhere, I think.
British Columbia.
Yeah, a
Dennis,
guy.
Dennis Hendrick says, Ruby.
I bought some
Yes,
rights
salute
to
the
metal
Marvin.
detect tailings from a bucket dredge.
Hey,
Oh, nice. Yeah, because they caught everything that didn't go through the classifier went in the tailings.
That's right. And this guy told me that what they used to do was in the conveyor that was taking the tailings out, they used to have a guy lying down next to it. I don't know if he had a flashlight or what, but he was looking for the nuggets that got through.
He'd have to be
Too big to go through the trommel.
He'd have to be quick, you know.
Well,
that
what a boring
conveyor
job. What a boring job. He said the guys sometimes would fall asleep.
belt.
So the big old nuggets just went on out in the pile, you know. So
So that's why metal detectors are good on tailing piles, huh?
what's that?
That's why metal detectors are good on tailing piles.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
sir.
right. That's right.
There's
They
a lot
bulldoze-
of
they bulldoze
tailing
it.
piles throughout the West. What the
Yeah, these guys bulldozed the tailing pile, flattened it out, and then they metal detected it. That's how they found it.
Nice.
Anyway, that's my nice nuggets.
heck?
Very
HD,
good.
Chris?
You made the chat room happy. They're all excited.
Yeah, but now they want to see more. They're never satisfied. Those
Well,
They're all
gold
lit up
porn
cigarettes.
addicts.
you can
Now lit up
go on my Facebook page and look at my photos. Most of them I put up for cover photos. There's a lot of really good ones. They're nice and sharp focus and big ones too. So.
True, very true. Mr. Lodak, could you get his Facebook page URL?
Just
Well,
IPAN
yeah.
for gold. Just go into Facebook and type in IPAN for gold.
Yeah,
Well,
I still have Skype, and that was a Skype call, Mr. Lodak. Doggone people don't know when to call.
You said you started off by on a permission, someone else's property. But then you got yourself a little trommel, and not little, but you built a trommel and set up so that all the gold, first of all, were you finding good gold? I mean, enough to be able to sell just your gold? No.
In 2 years, I found 2 ounces and spent about $30,000. And my buddies at least that much.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good investment, but it was a wonderful time. I loved it.
So if you were, let's say you got back on this property again for the first time, knowing what you know now, would you change how you worked it? Would you change how you processed?
Well, I think ultimately we got that trommel there where it was really doing a good job. We got 90% of all the gold we found in the top sluice and 10% in the bottom. So it was working really well. The thing is you can have the best equipment, but if you're not mining where there's gold, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, that
And
makes
so like Tony Beat says, drill, 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 sample, 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 test, 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 find out where the gold's at, and then run that material. But as you all know, the only way you're going to get a lot of gold is you got to run a lot of material.
right.
We want to get, whoops,
What?
Oh, I went off my studio page, but it's okay. We're still streaming anyway.
Hey,
So-
don't let Ray call it. Ray wants to tell a story.
Yeah, I was gonna let him call in. He loves you, Michael.
I did?
Well, Ray, you can get on Zoom, can't he?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Ray does Zoom. He knows how to do it.
I just have to send him the link. I'll send it to you on Facebook, Ray. I just had to bring up Facebook. Now find that guy.
Ray is really a special guy. I love him.
Yeah, he is.
He's got the biggest heart, you know, and he'll call every once in a while and chat, and he'll always say, you know, give pleasant greetings to my wife, and Susie, my wife, will come over and say, "Hey, Ray, how are you?" You know, he's just so gracious. He's a good guy. Good guy.
Okay, Ray, I sent it to your Facebook Messenger.
BR549, Bill says. Old he hog.
I think I still have that number too. But that's
basically,
my
once
Skype
you
number. Don't call in Skype.
So once you got going and started mining through there, and then did you start selling painters right away, or I don't remember if you started selling right away, Michael?
I'm sorry. What did you say, Jeff?
After you got set up and everything, were you selling paint dirt right away?
Oh, no. It's, I started out at the creek mining and stuff around 2011, 2010 maybe, until 2014 that I started selling pay dirt.
Ray, what's up, Ray?
Hey, Ray.
Well, I just had to call in. I got to give you guys just a couple of little quick stories. So the only way I actually had any kind of communication was with Facebook while I was in Greenland. And I got to give a big, huge, open, on the air thank you to Michael, because I tell you what, he'd call me up. And I'd be just irritated as all hell, but he'd call me up and make me smile. We'd say a good word to the good man above, and he was just checking on me, making certain I was doing okay, and wanted to say a word for all the cast members and crew members, even though he'd never met them. He'd never met a single one of them, but still cared enough for the adventure, you know. Here he is. He's out there just trying to sell dirt. It's the adventure and it's the fun.
Right.
And Michael's got more adventure and more fun in him, even though his poor old big old knobby knees can't let him do a lot of it. And just about anybody I ever met. And God bless you, Michael, man. You are one good dude.
Thank you, Ray.
Well, you got to meet Michael when you went down there for that outing.
Georgia.
Yes, right?
Yeah, but everybody had to wear sunglasses because of Ray's legs.
Anyhow, I don't want to take up much of the Michael's time. I just did want to stop in and tell him that his inspiration and his care for other people is bigger than what you guys even know. I mean, the man truly cares. So thanks a lot. Hey, and by the way, my name's Ray Russo, and I pan for gold.
Yes, he
There
does.
you go, Ray.
All right, Ray.
See you guys later. God bless.
You
Thank
too,
you,
Ray.
Ray.
Thanks, buddy.
What a guy.
I mean, that to me that was the coolest commercial ever. It was.
Well, it was special being able to meet him down there. We got together. Doc was there at the Gold and Gems grubbing site, which is next to the I forget the GPA
Oh, the LDMA camp.
the loud mine.
Loud mine, yeah.
It's right next to the loud mine, and Doc was there and had everything set up. And met up with Ray, and I came down, and we had a good time.
Cool. Yeah, Ray was down there for the GPS outing. They had that year.
Know what's funny, Michael? When we were down there, when we saw you and your wife in Dahlonega, and had a good chuckle when Tammy kicked your hiney in a gold panning contest, Reminds me when Dennis Dayton challenged Kevin Hoagland in speed panning. But nonetheless, we stayed at the Loud Mine. Judy and I are Lost Dutchman's members. Jesse and I stayed at Loud Mine, and every time we passed Gem and Gold Grabbing, we're like, we should go in there, and we never went in there.
We just drive on by. Next time we come by, we'll go in there. Okay, we drive on by.
I think we went to the Croissant Mine.
Yep, that's where you and I did it.
Yeah.
So back to what I was getting at earlier. Now that you've done it the way you've done it in the past, would you do it differently? I mean, would you not maybe set up such a big operation? Would you try to find a better spot before you did all that, or approach it totally different from a different
setting up in fact, if you watch, despite all, everybody likes to critique Gold Rush, but if you can get past all the drama and all the other crap, there are a lot of really important things that the average gold miner, even the prospector or guy who just pans, can learn. And one of the important things, you see how important water is. Okay, you got to be close. Your wash plant's got to be close to where the water supply is. Yeah, you can pump water for a mile, but you better have a huge pump to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap.
A dependable one.
Yeah. We started off with, I think I got a 1.5 inch out there, and then we went to the 2 inch and a 3 inch. We ended up with a diesel powered electric starter 4 inch. that did a pretty good job. But then every time you tweak one part of the system, you got to tweak another part. So anyway, would I do things different? I would set up everything in the same place, and I would go back to the same place because there's just not that many places here in Georgia where you can find gold, especially with that quality. Now, gold is everywhere, but most of the time it's so small you can't even see it. So which is another thing that I find most prospectors, miners, don't understand about really fine gold. If you do a little research, you'll find that 100 mesh and below, it doesn't, they take a 1 gram, is it 1 gram or 1 ounce nugget, I forget which. They say in a 4-foot column of water, it'll drop in 1 second or something like that. Well, you get down to 100 minus, 200 minus, 300 minus, it can take 30 seconds for that gold to get all the way down to the bottom. Well, how long do you think your material is in your sluice box? 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 4 seconds?
Yeah, micro gold gets blown out.
That's exactly right. You'll never even know it. And the only way you're going to get it is to have a really long sluice box, and where at the end, and Doc does this on some of his stuff, where he gives you the ability to put the last 4 feet or so on a different level or a different elevation, a different angle. And you got to have the mats in there that do not create turbulence, because all the turbulence do is just throw it back up into the water column again.
Right.
Allow time for it to settle. Okay, that's why a centrifuge, and I don't know if the guy is still, there was a guy who was selling a centrifuge a while back. I don't know if he's still in business or not.
Lee?
It looked like a lawnmower.
Lee, yeah.
Remember the guys? But centrifuge is the scientific way to get the really fine gold out. That or a jig. A jig, same basic principle.
Lee Hertzberger.
Yeah.
Little spin it off.
His brother
little
owns
spinner.
it now.
Little spinner. Yeah, it's called little spinner. Anyway, that's a real practical way to get really fine gold, but most of us are not even going to see it. If you just run stuff through a normal, especially a short sluice, you're just never going to have time to settle.
This is funny. Well, Ed and I did a video for him that we never got together. I still have it all. A bunch of video clips where he's explaining how it operates and all this.
Oh, it was probably Ed forgot to put the battery in.
Oh,
Oh.
no. Got the video.
No, I
Remember
got the
that?
video. I got all the video. I just never put it together.
Jesse pulled an Ed and it's in editing.
Editing. I gave it to Ed. So like I was
Anybody else
saying,
got any questions for me?
well, I'm not seeing anything right now. But maybe a little more information, because like I was telling you earlier, there's some guys in our chat room that are prospectors and in your area who are getting their dredging and this and that, and now they're getting their their dirt. I don't know if any of them are really wanting to be a pay dirt seller, as opposed to just somebody who's selling what they're finding in pay dirt. What kind of advice can you give them?
Well,
What kind of things have you learned about that?
talk about it in a generic sense.
Right.
Talking about starting a business, you better think it through.
Right.
Again, I've had like an MBA level education. One of the things that kept me from starting a business for 40, 50 years was the fact that 90% of all new businesses go broke the first year.
I mean, definitely don't make a profit first.
It's a hard thing. So, which is probably why you see so many sellers on eBay that are on the low end of the scale in terms of quality or the services or whatever it is I saw a video on YouTube where a guy took USPS boxes that are free and he turned them inside out so he could have free boxes to do his shipping with and not ship them by the postal service. I think that's illegal, but now the post office prints, U.S. post on both sides, so it's hard to get away with that.
Oh, they do? I haven't noticed.
Yeah, they do. That's because that's all I use is USPS.
Yeah, their priority mail boxes are printed inside and out. They don't even like you using their priority mail address label or something different. If you cut off the priority mail and stuff, they'll say, nope, don't use that. I've done it.
No, because I sell labels.
So anyway, like I said, know your business. You got to know what your costs are going to be before you get into it. Okay, you got to do all the math, and you got to figure it out. The biggest thing, 80% of my cost is gold. So you got to if all you're going to do is sell your own gold, that's good, but you're probably not going to have much to sell. I mean, most small scale miners aren't selling hundreds of thousands or recovering hundreds of ounces a year. They're probably on the smaller end of the scale.
One more fan wants to know, do you send to Canada?
No. I feel bad about that, but I tried. And what I found was there were just too many postal and customs regulations crap, too many hoops to jump through to do it successfully. Same thing with Australia. I get inquiries all the time from England and Australia and other places, Canada too. Do you ship here? Do you ship here? And I hate it. I have to tell them no, and I have to go through relating the story to them about how, in fact, if you try to ship to Australia and you actually follow the regulations and you fill out the customs form, you'll come across a thing where it says explicitly, gold is a prohibited product to ship to Australia.
Gold is?
Gold is. Yes, it is. Being said, I know that there's lots of companies that do it. And I ask them, how do you do that? Oh, well, we don't tell them it's gold. We just say it's mineral samples. So they get it, and everything is fine until they get caught.
Yep,
You get caught, you're at the mercy of whatever the government wants to do.
right.
I have sold one order to Australia, and that was because the guy, I told him up front, hey, here's all my concerns. The only way I'll ship to Australia is if you'll let me send a shipment to a US based freight forwarder, and then they can ship it to Australia. Okay, so I'll charge you the freight for whatever it costs me to ship it to wherever your freight forwarder is, and it can go from there. And the order went through. I never heard back from the guy. So I guess too expensive.
Ray's got a question, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But he wants to know about how many ounces do you go through in a year?
How many ounces I go through a year? Around 100, about 100 ounces, something like that.
Well, I got a question for you too.
Yeah.
You buy gold from Joe Blow Prospector.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I am very grateful. I told you I got some great customers. And they've come to me and said, hey, I got a bunch of gold. You want to sell it? Okay, well, here's my price. And I don't pay a spot for it. I usually pay, I'm reluctant to say what I pay for it from my cousin, but I pay about 85%.
Yeah.
Okay. If I can get it from 85%, then by the time I mark it up, I got a little bit of room to make a profit. But if it's above that, that's where I was, before I shut down, and I couldn't do it.
Right.
But now I use Shopify, which they charge 3%. Stripe, who processes the credit cards, they charge 2 to 3%. The list just goes on and on and on of all these got their finger in the pie, and they're taking money. It's tough.
One more pan wants to know where you get your dirt from.
I get my dirt. There's two components. One is crushed quartz. I buy it from the Croissant Gold Mine.
Right.
And I know Tammy and Tony pretty well. I don't get any breaks on cost. I just buy straight up pay dirt. This is something I don't advertise a lot, but people need to understand this. I buy straight pay dirt from the Croissant Gold Mine, and then I add the minimum guaranteed amount of gold to that. So the pay dirt has gold in it already.
Right.
It's just like if you bought it from Croissant.
Right.
But I used to run that, because it was so dirty. It had a lot of junk in it and stuff I didn't like. And of course I'd get all the gold, which was a lot of fun, but then I would put it back in and use it to sell. Okay. But now I don't bother with it anymore. I just use that. And then the other part of it is beach sand from Alaska. I take beach sand from Alaska that usually has some really fine gold in it. And I mix it. I'm sorry?
That what you get from Ray?
No comment. I don't talk about that. The fine gold.
He does.
The fine gold is also in it. And so sometimes folks will find really fine gold, which some of my customers like and some of them hate it. They don't like it. Why do you put that in there? I said, I didn't put that in there. It's extra. It just if you can find it, good. If you can't, okay, send me your tailings. So anyway, I blended about a 2 to 1 ratio of crushed quartz and beach sand. Sometimes I get some sand from Washington State. There's some gold areas up there on the shore, and I get some from there. But I think it's a pretty unique blend. I don't know of anybody else that does that either, where they blend and by the way, a lot of times you'll hear guys say, oh, if it doesn't have black sand, then it's not real gold pay dirt. Well, that's not my experience with crushed quartz. Crushed quartz, at least here in Georgia, does not have.
Or very little.
Yeah, it has very little black sand in it. And likewise, some of the sand from Alaska, it's black as can be, and it's non-magnetic, which means it's a heck of a lot easier to pan. than the stuff that's got hematite and magnetite in it.
Let me say hi to a couple people just come in. I can
What's
see
that?
ECP is in the house now, and Earth Radio showed up.
Yeah, about time.
Yeah.
I already gave him a hard time in chat. But good to see you, ECP.
Yes, sir. So you make up the bag. Oh, there was another question. I don't remember who asked it. Can you look at gold and tell where it comes from? Because
That was Ohio Relic Hunter.
we were talking about how gold from different places is different. Some shiny, some. Can you look at it and go, oh, that's from Colorado or that's from Arizona?
I used to think so, but I'm not so sure anymore. Nugget that I told you was my favorite nugget, that real chunky one.
Uh-huh.
That's some of the most beautiful gold I've seen from anywhere. And it came from right here in Georgia, less than an hour away from where I live. And it's very high purity. And so I know what the color is. And I see a lot of flat flakes stuff, especially from Alaska.
Right.
And yet I have seen some really chunky stuff come from Alaska also. But a lot of times the stuff from Alaska has a lot of black, I don't know if it's manganese or whatever staining it is on it. In fact, again, that's why I've got some gold in here I'm cleaning with my white vinegar and salt.
Well,
The stuff from Alaska would be, what's that?
A little extra gold pour in there.
Yeah, well, but it's got a lot of black stuff on it. It's kind of ugly. I don't like ugly gold. I like it clean. I like it clean. I like it shiny, not rubbed, so it looks like it's rubbed or anything, abraded. But just I like it nice. Again, that's why I like Australian gold. Australian gold is so beautiful to me. I watch the Australian Gold, whatever it's called. There's a TV show on TV. With guys, it's all metal detecting.
Like Gold Hunters, I think it is.
Yeah, something like that. I just amazing to see some of those huge nuggets come out of the ground like that. Just amazing.
Yeah, it just blows me away. But hey, they're still finding them here too. Our buddies last
California, man.
They found some nice nuggets out there too, some nice big pieces.
A fun thing too is that I have advertised a few times. In fact, I think I have an ad right now on the Gold Prospectors magazine. And some people ask, well, why do you advertise there? Well, I have actually had guys from Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota who do not have access to the internet. They don't have a computer. All they've got is a telephone. And so they call me up and they want to place an order for pay dirt, and they give it to me on the phone. In fact, one guy in his, I forget, he had mayor, it said mayor. He was a mayor. I said, are you the mayor? I said, well, yeah, I'm the only guy that lives in the town. I'm all by myself. So he was the police chief,
I'm the sheriff,
fire chief, and everything else. But it's really fun to talk to some people.
Well, I'll see it. But I saw it before.
See what?
Oh, his ad. Oh, I saw it.
I see somebody says, you realize we got mechanical tumblers. Yeah, I've got one. It's just too much hassle. Every time I think about it, I just pick it up and roll around. I asked my wife to help me out a little bit. But anyway, thank you.
I don't really understand Ronald's question. Can you establish it by the way it moves in the pan? Establish like where it's from? I don't understand, Ronald. And you don't need to yell.
There are some gold miners who swear up and down they can tell where it's from. In fact, I've had some guy tell me he thought the gold was from right here in Georgia, but I know for a fact it was from Alaska. So
Well, every gold producing area has its own fingerprint. If you have it analyzed and areas analyzed, you can have it know where it comes from.
Yeah.
But you have
Well,
to have the data for that first, though.
the president of our local GPAA chapter here in Augusta, Georgia, David Gray, really nice guy. He's a professional chemical engineer. He owns an XRF machine, only it's a real old one. And he actually, I said, hey, I've got some gold. I'd like you to test it for me to tell me what kind of purity it is. And he brought his XRF machine to my house. It's a desktop model, kind of, it's probably 30 years old. But that was really cool. And you could get a really definite signature as to what kind of, readout of what exactly is in the gold or whatever it is you're checking. However, something everybody needs to understand about XRF machines, an XRF machine has to be set up to identify all of the metals you want to know about.
So it's gotta be preset.
If you don't set it up, and let's say you only put gold in, I only want to know about the gold, then it'll take the sample, and if there's any gold in there at all, it'll come back and it'll tell you it's 100% gold.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you don't put in nickel and zinc and lead and all those other things, and those
Over everything else.
percentages show up, it's going to throw off your reading. So you need to ask that question when you ask somebody to use an XRF machine on your gold. What metals are you set up to detect? Okay, because you could get kind of the wrong impression as to what it is.
Don't you also want to know what's in the area?
Well, that's helpful, yeah. But
Like what other minerals they found in the area?
one of the amazing things though is I have seen gold come out of the ground. One piece is brilliant yellow, shiny, and the other one right next to it is black almost.
Right.
Now, it came out of the same hole, and it's two different colors and it looks different. Friend of mine in Virginia was running his little, the trommel that goes on a gold cube.
Uh-huh.
He was running on a little Fox, I think a little Fox slew set up with a trommel on it. And he was doing a cleanup and he saw this big old rock and he picked it and he almost tossed it. But it was really heavy. So he looked at it, he hefted it, and then he scraped on it and it was a 6 gram nugget.
Oh.
And he almost threw it away. It was all black. So you got to be really careful.
Definitely.
No, I didn't see your ad in the GPA book this month.
What's that?
I didn't see an ad in their GPA book. Huh.
Yeah, somebody's saying wash it with nitric acid. I've got nitric acid. I've got what's that? I forget what kind.
Sulfuric acid.
I found lately, one of the chemicals I found recently is aluminum cleaner. They sell it at the auto parts store. And it's got some pretty powerful acids in it, but they're diluted. So it's not like, hydrofluoro or whatever, aqua regia.
Well, aqua regia will actually
that'll kill you
You don't
too.
want to do that.
No, but this aluminum cleaner, they use it for cleaning aluminum boats with. So it's like a 10% solution or less. It's pretty low. That doesn't.
What about I use muriatic acid.
Yeah.
Muriatic acid.
Yeah.
Brain cleaner.
You got to be safe. The fumes can kill you.
That's right. Don't sniff it. Don't do it indoors.
Oh yeah.
Well ventilated area. Be careful. Very careful. Now you have me checking, Jesse. See what you did?
What?
I'm going through my prospectors book.
Oh.
Now I'm just cheating and going to the back where it has a list of advertisers. Now I can't even find that. Oh well.
All right. Anybody else got any questions?
I don't see any more questions.
Take care, Peter.
Real quick.
Not that I don't know. I
Yeah,
certainly.
actually about being able to tell the difference. We talked about your dirt mix. So she go through about 100 ounces a year.
Went over ROIs and all that.
So, okay.
See what Bill put in there, Ed, didn't you?
Yeah. The ads in the back will have you sending in your bubble gum wrappers or a decoder ring. I got my Dick Tracy decoder ring.
So one of the questions that our other co-host who's not with us tonight, Rose, likes to ask is a hypothetical for you.
Uh-oh.
If money was no object, you got all the time in the world, nothing to hold you back. Is there any place you'd love to go prospect?
Yeah, I'd like to go to Alaska. I'd enjoy going to Alaska, to a place where there was coal. I'd love to go to Australia, do some of that metal detecting thing. That looks really great.
Oh yeah.
There's some places in California that I'd love to, and it kills me because I was born and raised in California, and I had no interest in gold. I moved to North Carolina. The house I owned had a creek running through it. I wasn't interested in gold. I moved to Georgia. The first house I lived at had a creek going through it, and I found out later it was only about 2 miles from an old gold mine. It wasn't until I got here to Augusta, Georgia, and again I watched Gold Fever, Tom Massey, and he showed the show on Delanago that I got the bug.
Oh, I can understand that for sure, Michael, because I grew up in Southern California. If I caught the fever when I was young and in school, just think I would have been ditching, going dredging, and not ditching and going surfing. So,
Yeah, I used to surf San Onofre.
oh, surfed there many of times. Uppers and lowers trestles, and
Yep.
used to surf trestles and Onofre longboard.
At church. Remember
Yeah.
church?
Yeah.
Place called church there. I remember sitting on my board one morning and I looked down and I saw this dark shape go underneath me. And I just assumed it was a seal. I didn't pay any attention to it. Now, several years later, there's all these videos of these guys who are stand-up paddleboarding right off San Onofre, and there's all these great white sharks there.
Oh yeah, there's.
I can't help wondering, oh my gosh, was that a great white shark?
Oh,
Well, good that you didn't know.
if there were porpoises around, you're all right. I used to go to San Clemente a lot and down into Onofre, and yeah, back in the days.
Back in the day, that's right. When we were young.
Yeah, I haven't.
I moved to Georgia, and I thought, I think I'll get back into surfing. I went to the beaches, South Carolina, and I think I went to Folly Beach. I could not get up to save my life. I got so discouraged.
Well,
It was terrible.
it's surfing,
All right.
you know, it isn't like riding a bike, that's for sure.
Yep. Yep. Well, Ed, thank you so much. Jesse, appreciate it.
It's you being on the show. And
Dano, thank you.
if somebody wants to order your pay dirt, where do they go?
ipanforgold.com, IPAN, the number 4, GOLD.com, ipanforgold.com.
Yep,
Really?
the link's up at the top and pinned to the chat room. If you're interested, check out the deals the packages he has.
Like I told
Let
him
me
earlier.
mention Jaron too. I see Jaron's in here. He's been here for a while. Jaron's such a good guy. He helped me with my commercial on GPS. You know, where we. That's why Ray was joking around, saying, "Hey, it was Ray and I pan for gold." I had a bunch of.
Yeah, my name's Ed Marvin, and I pan for gold.
That's right. And John Shaw, he was on there.
Yeah.
And a lot of great guys. So, anyways, thank you.
I didn't send my name.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you. God bless y'all.
You too, Michael.
Remember to be thankful.
Always.
With all the skeletons in my closet, I can be nothing but thankful.
All right. Well,
all right. Well, we appreciate you being here, Michael.
Thank you.
And like I said, probably wraps up for the show too, guys.
Pretty close.
Yeah, GPU, you're welcome. I'm glad you got your shirt. That's good. I hope it fits you.
And bye, Michael. Yeah, Michael's a great guy. I really enjoyed our visit with him in Dahlonega. And
Michael's goal is who I normally will rattle off. Somebody asks me who do I think has the best pay dirt. Typically his name comes out first.
There's a lot of good pay dirts out there, but I've never been disappointed with anything I've received from Michael.
And he's been a very good supporter of our channel, so
that he has. And
love over there if you want to buy some pay dirts, if you're interested in some of his pay dirt.
Yeah, remember the links up top, pinned to the top of the live chat. So he has great subscription packages, whatever fits your budget. So thank you, Mr. Lodak. I'll give you one out of the Cracker Jack box heavy. Oh,
a badge. You'll give him a badge.
Kids. Next week's the 30th, open line Tuesday. When I scheduled Mike, guys, I was thinking it was open line Tuesday, and he was just gonna come in for like the first half hour or hour, and then we were gonna open up the lines, and then I'm like, oh wow, there's 5 weeks in November. So
you see what Brian says. Brian says, my name is Brian Wilder, and I watch Ray Russo pan for gold on YouTube.
Yeah, ain't that so? Or spinny pan during Ray's commercial breaks, or relief breaks, I should say. Refill breaks. No, but Michael's great guy, good friend, great friend of the channel, and Gold Prospectors Space, which reminds me, Gold Prospecting Space. GoldProspectorsSpace.com. Great community of treasure hunters. They have Prospectors Radio every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and Sundays at 7:30 Eastern Time. When gold diggers and treasure hunters get together and chat. Anything else? Open line Tuesday next week. And I hope you all have a very good Thanksgiving. I know each and every one of you have something to be thankful for. I know I do, many. And two of them are sitting right here. Thank you, Dano. Thank you, Jesse. Rose, we miss you, girl. But you know, we got your back, sister.
No, get yourself better first.
And
Yep.
I think I could speak for all of us. We're all very thankful for all of you, the Flash fam. You've made this going on 5 years, June 22nd, 5 years. Go by pretty quick, huh, Jesse?
Yeah, it does. Lots of stuff.
But I have to work Friday. Doggone it. I was hoping to get it up, but no. So, Sarah, if you're lurking and or your son Tyler's lurking, should have gave us Friday off too.
We should have worked the weekend too.
Brian's thankful for my balls.
Well, it's almost a season for Dano Bowls.
It's almost that season.
Everybody
That's a lot of
needs
work.
a roof. That's right.
To understand and appreciate the fact that Dano puts a lot of work and a lot of effort into his balls.
That he does. That he does.
Last year it was over 800 of them.
Wow. Shipped all over too, from coast
All
to coast. From
Uh-huh.
coast to coast.
Mark Miller, every morning I wake up, I'm happy and blessed.
Anytime I can wake up breathing, I'm blessed.
Right? Wake up on the right side of the ground. I'm blessed. Oh, definitely blessed with all of you too. On that note, thanks again for joining us tonight. I hope to have some of you call in next week. Until then, happy Thanksgiving, and may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's going to say next.
Just kind of got to work on something different, don't we, Jesse? But it's very true. You never know. Maybe one day, too, we'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless.
Bye,
Folks.
See y'all next time. Bye-bye.
I don't know about an after party tonight, but how about during party next week? You guys all call in.
This boy's going to bed whole for too long.
Yeah, I hear that. I got an hour commute.
5, 4, 3,
I'm working on,
1.
I got,
Shirts?
no, well, yeah. I'm actually working on a new Photoshop program.
I ain't no young buck anymore. Bedtime comes early.
Thank you, Jeff. Later, Brian.
Later, folks. Take it easy.
GPS raid. Woo!
Bye.